Good afternoon, everybody. I am joined today with the wonderful Katie Birkett. For those of you that have not met Katie before, Katie is the head judge of the Business Ascension Symposium and Awards. She is here for the second year. So, Katie, would you like to tell everybody a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and why you're judging again?
Well, hi everybody. So yes, I'm Katie B. And I really live up to my name. It's what Katie did next. There's always something in the future, always something going on in my life. But for the last 27 years, I would best describe myself as a serial entrepreneur. So I build businesses from bootstrap. So for those that don't know the technical what bootstrap is, it's basically you've got very little money, you've not got a VC company, you've not got investment, you've not gone for grants or loans, you're building it from probably your own savings or your salary, and trying to build a business with very little money. So that's a bootstrap business. And I love bootstrap businesses. And over 27 years, I've built multiple 6, 7 figure businesses through that strategy of being a bootstrap. I love business. Business is my superpower. It excites me. And what I do currently now, I actually have 5 different companies on the go that I'm behind over different sectors. For example, we own a civil engineering company in highways and safety, and I'm running my coaching program, which is helping people start their businesses, helping people move from being maybe employed to fully self-employed for their business, and helping those in those first few years. And what I do is I teach the bit between start and scale of your business. And it's that messy part in the middle. And I help businesses build the right foundations, the right systems, the right processes that will automatically not even hit a ceiling point. They would just naturally scale organically. But my big passion and my legacy here at the moment is helping as many businesses survive those first 3 years. It's 60% of businesses fail in the first 3 years of starting, and I want to change that statistic. I also want to make learning and gaining access to business knowledge as affordable and as accessible to absolutely everyone. And the other thing I'm really passionate about, Vicky, is normalizing everyday business struggles. And I'm sure everyone who's had their own business or starting their own business has been there where we sat in our offices going like, I can't do this. I'm no good at this. Why don't I just go and find a job? It's got to be easier. And what they're doing is they're looking at social media, they're seeing everyone's highlights, that 10 seconds of somebody's life going, oh, my business is amazing. It's brilliant. Look how successful it all is. And you're comparing against somebody else's level. And you might be just starting off and you're comparing your life with somebody who, like me, who's been in business for 20 odd years. So I want to normalize those business struggles because those struggles shouldn't be silent anymore because they're part of the journey. And actually, they're an integral part of the journey because it's there's the lessons are, there's the moment that changes and transformations happen. And that is the magic. It is the secret magic. So that's me in a nutshell, really.
And I love what you do, Katie. You always do it from an authentic place. Like we've just had a conversation because we've just come off a networking session with some of our finalist sponsors, speakers, and judges for this year's Symposium and Awards. And you were chatting with someone, and when you were telling me about it, you were just like your whole face, your whole being just lit up because you could see the impact that just being nominated and then going through to the finals has had on someone. So that's obviously one of your really strong core values, allowing that change to occur, allowing the transition, the recognition, the hope, and the clarity that you get to give. And yeah, I absolutely love what you do, and I love the way that you do it. And from my experience with you myself, I think you've been in my world now for just over a year.
Yeah.
And every single time, you don't put business before the human, you put the human before the business in every single situation. And I love that about you. And I love that you do that. So I'm absolutely honoured that you are with us for the second year. You are our head judge. and you are basically part of my backbone for these awards. So thank you for that.
No,
Um,
no, no need to thank me, because last year's awards, being the first ever Spiritual and Business Symposium Awards, was magical, absolutely magical. And I think, I mean, first, what you need to know about me is, once I come into your life, yes, I love business. I'm interested in new businesses. I can help you with the business, but for me, it's the person behind the business. That's the most important part of it. And I always say to people, once you've met me, you've got me in your life forever. I'm your bestie. That will be go through the good times, the highs, but I'll also be there for all the lows and the bad times as well to support. Um, but the awards last year were just, they were phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But where I've come through very much a corporate, yes, corporate in a way, but my background is 21 years in fitness.
mm,
Um, and in the business world, some of those awards and places that normally take part, I'd say, um, I didn't fit. I felt a disconnect being at those. I felt like I had to be all suited and booted and really serious business person. And that's not me. I like the fun element. I like being the authentic person, being the human. So when and now seeing the awards and being part of it last year, it gave me my space for somewhere I can fit into. And I'm only new, only in the last 3 years I've been really, really connecting to my own spiritual self. And kind of like blending it into my business. And the more I do that, Vicky, the more my business shines, the
yeah,
more I connect inwards with myself and my purpose, and being that not just authentic side, but really feeling that spiritual side of me
yeah.
just makes me better at business as well. And that connect has to be one. So there's no way, even if you said, Katie, we're not going to do, or we don't need you, I would be there no matter what. Even if I help setting up this business, because I believe in it so much, and I believe in you, Vicky.
Oh, thank you, Katie. It's not often in business that you bump into someone at an expo, give them a very quick debrief about your next movement, and they say, I'm in. Not even a second thought, I'm in. It was that instantaneous. And you're there with all this stuff and packing it up for everybody else as well. And you're like heading back to the car with not just your stand, but somebody else. You're like, Vicky, I'm in. I'm going to contact you. We're doing this. So, it's not often that happens. And these are the types of connections that I thrive with and I absolutely love. So, Katie, you've come back for the second year as head judge. What was different about the judging this year compared to last?
So last year, it was very dependent on the people that have been nominated telling us all about themselves, which was absolutely brilliant. And I loved it. And I spent way too long. I missed my judging deadlines because I was going into people's businesses and reading them and understanding them. And oh, it was beautiful, an absolute beautiful experience. But what happened last year was you had those coaches that were really kind of confident, almost the extroverts that is happy, that will write pages and pages about themselves. And then you had other coaches, and I fit in this category. I'm an introvert, so I'm not. If somebody says, "Oh, tell me about you," or "Can you give us your founder stories?" Like, who, me? I have no idea. Who just aren't naturally good at telling themselves about singing their own praises, basically saying, "Yeah, I am good. I am worth this. I'm brilliant." Um, and that's where I think most of my time, because I wanted to get to know that person. I wanted to see the business, see what the websites are, see. I visited all the social media pages because I wanted to get to know that person behind the business, to then see what their business was doing, how it was impacting others. This year is completely different because though we have the judging element, I think bringing the client testimonials in as part of the judging is amazing, because that's what we do as a business. We help people, we serve people, and you're only as good as the last job, the last client, the last person you've helped.
Yeah.
So to have client testimonials come back and say, this person's absolutely frigging amazing. This person's transformed my life. This person's made an impact. And what I really like about that, Vicky, is yes, you might have somebody that's helped somebody and their business is being more profitable, seeing more inroads, they're going further down the plan that they wanted to achieve faster. But actually, it's the impact of the person's life it makes a difference to as well.
Absolutely, I
So
completely
being able to see the difference between the actual business person, the coach person, and the result and the transformations in the clients
yeah.
is just amazing. And a lot of other awards just don't do that at all. It
Mm.
goes back to, you know, who knows them, who's nominated them, why they should do it, why they think of it. So I love this new approach as well, because it
Yeah.
really is coming from heart led.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really excited about it. I mean, I've never really liked public votes anyway, but I was just following a strategy based on the finalists getting their visibility more than anything else, and that's why I went with it. But someone actually suggested it to me last year, and I thought, fuck, that's what I need to do. I need to do it that way because then I get the finalists get their visibility, but it actually leads with ethics. And the ethics are if your clients, not if your clients will leave you that review and then that will give you that extra point, and that's what's going to win these awards because
Yeah,
actually it's about the impact, not about the financials.
yeah,
And that more than anything else, I mean, a lot of the business awards that we have is, they want to know the ins and outs of a duck's arse. They want to know about the financial status, they want to know about your tax, they want to know about your profits, and that's all fine and well, but not every business is focused on that. And why are we only focusing on that? That to me is not
yeah.
ideal.
And it's something I really touch upon. Everyone I work with, um, I like, so I talk a lot about alignment. And everyone I work with, I always like to visit where they see themselves in 3 or 4 years' time. And it does two things. A, it brings the focus so I can see what they're trying to build and where they want to go. But it also allows them to dream as well.
Mm.
Then, and my second question I always ask is why you started your business. And there's often a real disconnect between why and what they want in life. And the bit in the middle is kind of like, well, you're going to go completely away why you started your business, and actually you're not going to get the alignment to what you want business. But it is that side, just like you said, where we are so easy these days to define success by what somebody else has said.
Yeah.
So we've all seen it, the 10K months, the 100K months, achieve this. But is that real success? Because actually, if you want a business that you can operate on a freedom base, dip in and out, that gives you a nice lifestyle, cover your bills, but allows you to spend all the summer off with your children, allows you to attend every school event with your children, allows you to go everywhere. That's real success to me.
Yeah.
And I talk a lot about freedoms. I talk about location, time, financial, and spiritual freedom because you'll always want one of them. And that those for me is success. Yes, we all want financial success. But believe me, whether you've got a six-figure business or a five-figure business, you still have the same headaches. You still have the same stress. It's just a bit bigger over here on the seven figures than it is here.
Yeah.
And it's for me at the moment. We're in a process of selling one of our businesses. I'm realigning every of my business that I work on it, not necessarily in it, because mine is location freedom.
Mm.
All I want, Vicky, my success isn't what's in the bank account. My success is that I can spend most of the year somewhere where we get more blue skies, more sunshine, and I can take the afternoons off.
Yeah.
That's my success.
Yeah. I hear you. I completely hear you. Like I have more freedom in my life now than I've ever had. And if I want a day off, I can take it. In fact, I plan it in. So I don't work Fridays, and I haven't worked Fridays for the last 7 years. And Mondays, I don't really book calls on a Monday. They're my free flowing days. If I want to clean the house, I'll clean the house. If I want to do the admin and catch up on marketing, then I'll do that. But generally, my diary is clear on a Monday for me to free flow. And Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the days in which I will generally build out my diary. But that freedom to be me, because weekends is normally filled with running around after children. I mean, not so much now because they're getting older, but technically that's the family time. Um, if I didn't have that freedom, I don't think I would be the person that I am today, because I have been that person who worked 16-hour days, burnt themselves out, exhausted, money was coming in, but the profit wasn't. And, I've done all of that. And that, to me, that wasn't the success that I was striving for, but I was caught up in what everyone else said of, you need to generate this and you need to work really hard, as well as my own beliefs. So sometimes you've just got to tune in, like you say, with that alignment. In fact, I wrote a bloody book on it, how to build a business that's radically aligned rather than building a business that people tell you to build. And probably why we get on so well, Katie. But this is where it's at, isn't it? I want to be part of a world where freedom is the success.
Yeah. And I think as well, things are changing in the business world. We had that change in 2020 because we were all thrown into the same situation. And people realise they can work from home. There are different ways to working from it. But there's a next level up for me. It's deciding that freedom, it's getting aligned with that freedom, and then it's connecting back with yourself.
Yeah.
And the more, and especially meeting you and the wards and the people I've met through your wards and your network and everything, it is tapping into that spiritual side. And we all have it. I really don't care. Go down to London, find me something, doing a hedge fund manager. And once they connect to what's happening with it and listening to their intuition, and in a way, working out what the gifts they were given when they were born, just sets that freedom alight and it makes it even more possible. And I think that's what I've realized. People are opening up to it a lot more.
Absolutely.
And creating this space for people to come into, which me not being from that space, that area, and certainly for a good 15 years, I was so corporate. I feel so safe in it. I can share that I'm inexperienced and I'm trying to do more, and people just open up. And I think that's the difference. They are living their lives aligned to themselves, connected with themselves, offering services to help more and more people. But when we look back, it goes right back through all our ancestrals. That's who we were and how we were. And somehow
Yeah,
we've lost that. And
we
I think
have.
you connect to it, the karma, the grounding that you feel, and suddenly the things that seemed really hard and stressful, you instantly got answers and know how to move on.
Yeah. So that's what I call the calm confidence. When you are in complete alignment, you have a calm confidence and faith that the next steps are happening regardless. But one thing I found specifically with those that have been in the corporate space is they misunderstand what spirituality is. A lot of people have this misconception that spirituality is about dancing around a campfire, chanting, screaming to the wolves and the moon, right? That is one ritual through spiritual practices that some people will engage with, but that is not spirituality. Spirituality is the connection to self, the inner truth, the inner wisdom, which is not actually woo woo at all. It is human, and it is that part of you where you sit there and everybody gets this point in their life. I don't care what path you're on, everyone gets to a point in their life and they say, what the fuck do I even want from my life? Where do I really want to go? Where do I want to be? And when you've reached that point, that's when you are connecting with your spirituality. And this is what I want to bridge. This is the part of me that gets so fucking passionate, because why are we putting spiritual practices in a box of, oh, you've got to do this ritual to be spiritual? No, you fucking haven't. And I also get the Vicky, you swear a lot. How can you be spiritual? Because spirituality has got nothing to do with swearing. That is people's beliefs, that is people's rituals, and it also goes down the path of religion. If you follow a set of rules, you're actually following more religion than you are following a spirituality. So this is where I just like I can end up going down rabbit hole, Katie.
I
You know
know,
what I'm
and you
like?
can hear that, you can hear your passion with it. And I think that was my connection with you. It was like, wow, the passion, the creativity, where you want to take this. And I think for me, it was the dream you had, it was the vision you had, and went, God, I'm all in. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how it is, but I could feel it. And as well, I think that is it. When you feel somebody else's connection through their vision, through how they're living on a day-to-day purpose. I mean, it makes me laugh because we were just saying before, my husband thinks I go to woo-woo land. But on the other side, over the last 3 years, he has seen such a change in me, and a
Yeah,
change for the better, and the confidence, because I have over the years, yes, I've built multiple successful businesses, but I've also struggled behind the business as well. That disconnect, trying to fit into what society wanted from me. And a lot
yeah,
of it, I've been running two identities. I've been running the business identity over here, the boardroom kind of identity, building the business thing. And then to family and friends, I've been living a completely different identity because the two don't merge. And I've
no,
suddenly realized they have to, because I wasn't living authentically either way, because I was taking me out of the picture for
yeah,
it. And now over the years, I've connected to me and gone exactly that question. Who am I? What do I want to do? Where am I going? What do I want my life to be like? I get to choose and make these decisions.
yeah,
Um, and the answer was I had to bring and connect to my spiritual side.
yeah.
And as soon as I did that, oh my God, the universe opened up.
I
It
know,
opened up
right?
because I feel like it's like, when I say swallowing me, it's swallowing me in a good way, because it's like going, we got you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was speaking at an event on Monday, and a lot of my story was kind of shared. But one thing that I've always taken away from it is I've achieved more in the last 5 years than most people would achieve an entire lifetime. Has it been easy? No. But every single move I've made has been guided by spirit, and it has been guided by you just need to run with this idea and get out of your own damn way, woman. And I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, even through gritted teeth and bated breath. And there's been hurdles and fucking hurricanes thrown at me along the way. But, every single piece of what I've created has been to bring people back to their own inner voice. Because actually, this is something I'm totally going down a rabbit hole now, so bear with me. But what I see is a lot of people in business are giving their power away to the gurus. They're giving their power away to the external voices. They're giving their power away to, but so and so said I should do this, and that influencer said I should do that, and that person said this. And this is why a lot of people will say, but Vicky, you've been doing this for a long time. You've got a really small following. Collectively, I've got 10,000 people in my following. But you know what? I don't give a shit about that, because having that following doesn't mean anything,
No.
because I don't want to influence anybody else's beliefs, behaviors, and patterns. I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be someone who gives people back the permission to be powerful in who they are, not who what other people say they should be. And that's where the book came from, the tarot cards come from, the awards are coming from, because people that are stepping into this space are trusting in that.
And I think for me, when we last year, when we discussed what the awards were looking like and how they were going to take shape and what the purpose was for them, and then the future of where
Mm.
it's all going, to me, that was real alignment with entrepreneurs. So I call people entrepreneurs. A lot of people, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm just a business owner. Oh, that's fair. So it doesn't matter what you call yourself, but it's the people that have listened inwards and gone, you know what? I could start a business here. And they've
Mm.
made that leap and started that business. I don't care. For me, the most successful businesses are the ones that have failed at a business and started again. And then they've started again and going, right, we're going this direction. And something happens and it's like, oh, it's over here, this direction. That is true entrepreneurship for me. And
Yeah.
I calling it, I seem to have this set face at the moment. And yet we go again. And yet we go again. And it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And I think that is people, the services, the coaches, the people running businesses. that I got to know in the awards and symposium are those exact people. They've had a dream, they've had a vision, they've gone like, I'm going with it. There's
Yeah,
things telling me I have to do this, and it changes along the way. The businesses that don't succeed and suddenly find the hit ceiling point is the ones that aren't willing to change. Like, no, I'm
yeah,
on one path and one path only, and I've got to do it like this because it looks really nice to everyone out here. No, business
mhm,
is meant to be messy. It's meant to be complicated. Um, but actually, once you connect with what's really happening and listen to those inside voices,
absolutely.
you can really bring out the magic in it. And I've seen it. I've seen it this since I've come into your life and been involved with the awards and getting to know all the different businesses. Business is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I don't think we embrace that enough. And I don't think we talk about it enough.
No, we don't.
No.
We talk about the wins, we talk about success, we talk about impact, we talk about, someone said to me the other day, you've impacted over 30,000 entrepreneurs. And I was like, well, I've impacted 30,000 students because they've accessed my course at their own leisure. Yeah, absolutely. But what does that mean to me? Realistically, it doesn't mean anything to me because I'm just doing what I do and people have joined me or they haven't. There's no big emotional thing. But yet, 10 years ago, if you told me that I'd be stood on a stage singing and dancing my way in and not giving two hoots about whether I drop an F bomb or not, I would have said, you're absolutely freaking crazy. But opening this space where you can be who you are
Yeah.
and allow yourself to be in that space is really, really important. So, Katie, we have got 4 weeks until the event. Oh my god, 4 weeks until the second event. We've got 4 weeks until we're going to have everybody in the room. Like 4 weeks today, everybody's going to be in the room. Like, I'm still trying to fathom this. What would you say to someone who may be hesitant about attending the event, even if they're not part of the awards?
So I would say you don't know what you don't know, but that's the times when you do need to know. And the bits you don't know that you need to know is the transformational bit. Um, I would say anyone that's sitting on the line going like, oh, but it's not me. I've run a traditional business over here and stuff. Forget it. Blow it out the water. Come and just experience it. Sit at the back of the room, find the back table in the darkest corner and sit there because I can guarantee 4 hours in, there'll be something happening internally in you.
No,
There'll
don't,
be,
Katie. An hour. We're doing it from the get go. All right.
well,
The first hour
yeah,
is
but I
going to be
don't
a
want to
game
scare
changer.
people. So within 4 hours, and it's not that you can't sum up the experience. Honestly, you can't sum up experience. But for somebody that doesn't have a coaching practice or service in the spiritual side of it, for me, just being in part of it and connecting with myself and listening to those people has transformed my businesses, has transformed the way I'm living my life, but it's also transformed. And I'm going to go all out here. At the moment, I'm building a huge legacy business, a huge, which if anyone connects with me, it'd be amazing. And you'll go like, oh my God, how's she even going to do that? But it's my legacy. I would not have that if I hadn't met you, Vicky. And I wouldn't have it if I hadn't seen and connected to people in that room that's going to be in that room in 4 weeks' time. It is unbelievable. And you know what? If you come along and go, it's still not for me, at least you'll never have a niggling regret. But I
I
can
tell you what,
guarantee it.
I can almost guarantee you now, Katie, because last year we had people turning up not knowing what to expect. They just knew it was going to be different. They knew there was going to be something shifting within them. They just felt it. And I actually had people after that event tell me they have never been to an event that has been so loving, caring, open,
Yeah.
business focused, and transformational. And ultimately, one of the biggest phrases that I got from several of the attendees last year was, this is a life changing experience. This
And
isn't a business event where you sit and take notes.
one of the beautiful things about it last year is there were some ladies that had been nominated and up for awards. And for the awards, they actually brought their husbands and
Yeah.
partners along. And these poor gentlemen were just so fish out of water completely. It's like, oh my God, what's happening? Where we are? And when I then spoke to them after the award and they saw what happening, one of the gentlemen turned around and goes like, why can't we have this in every single business dinner and business award like this? He goes, this is unbelievable. What you ladies are doing and bringing it together. He goes, and they're even feeling it. And they're realizing that what they normally go to and how they celebrate business isn't real. It's not authentic or aligned to the people. It's just one of those that, you know what, we've got to go and get. I mean, my husband has it in civil engineering. You know, we have awards in this all the time, and it's like, oh God, do I have to hear anything else about roads and highways and celebration? Where are we going with it? And everybody actually looks miserable
Yeah.
until the wine's
The wine
flowing and the
kicks in.
beer's
Yeah.
going, and
But
then
that's why they have
everyone's on the
it.
dance floor. But it is. So I'd just say if you be in that room in 4 weeks' time, be in that room. And if you are coming, and if you do wear socks, make sure your shoes are really tied on really well, because those socks are going to get flipping blown off
They are
with what you're going to
indeed.
experience.
They absolutely are, and I can't wait for it. So, Katie, I have one more question for you before we wrap up, right? So, last year, something happened in that room neither of us was prepared for. So, I need to ask you now, are you ready for the emotion that's going to be flowing on the day?
Emotion. Oh my God. I need stocks and shares in tissues just to be judging these awards before we even get into those awards.
Yeah.
It's it is emotional because I don't care what you say. When you run a business or provide a service or product to somebody, it is your baby because you've poured hours and sacrificed so much to make it there. And once you see people being acknowledged for that, I'm even feeling it now. I'm even feeling like emotional now about it.
Yeah.
It it is just, I know I use it a lot, but it is magical, Vicky. It really is magical. Seeing people's hard work. But the big thing for me as well is seeing the people that maybe have that little bit of self-doubt, aren't as confident as other people. And once you start seeing them and being acknowledged for them in a space that has been created for them, it's just like it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. It is
Yeah.
out of this world. But I do have boxes of tissues at the ready.
Yes, yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I think I might even just like ditch the makeup this year and just allow the tears to fall because I wasn't prepared last year for the amount of emotion that was about to come out in that room. I mean, the emails and things that I received, some people had been nominated for the first time in 30 years of service. Some people have never been recognised before. And I suppose, when I was at an event on Monday, and the MC, Laura, literally read out my thing and then made the whole room stand for me. Even in that small moment of recognition, I was overwhelmed with that. So having, people being in a room and collecting that award is just, it's an experience for us as the host, facilitators, judges, but it's also an experience for those that are participating. And it's so mind blowing. But anyway,
And
Katie.
it's part of their journey as well. This is
Yeah,
part of their journey that
yeah,
just even if they don't win award, everybody who's been nominated, everyone who's been a finalist has done unbelievable. And that's because we see you and we believe in your business. And we know you have such a bright future and you are going to be widely successful out there. And I see it from a business strategy side. And I've been really lucky because I've looked at all the businesses as well. And you know what? Everyone's unique and everyone's bringing themselves into it. And that's why it's so special.
Yeah, completely, 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 completely. And I can't wait. I can't wait to dive in. I can't wait to explore it a little bit further and see what this year is going to bring because last year was magical, but this year is going to be fucking explosive. So watch this space. If you haven't got your ticket, make sure you get it. You can only, if you want to just attend the symposium during the day with all the speakers, you absolutely can. You don't need to do the full day. But for those that are doing the full day with us, I can't wait to welcome you in and watch the transformation occur right there in the room. Katie, thank you so much for joining me. Where can people find you?
Oh no, thanks. I mean, I'm honoured. I'm honoured to be head judge. I'm honoured to be part of this journey with you. And where can people find me? I am predominantly on Instagram. So everything's there. It's just I am underscore Katie Birkett. But if you come across my path or in a network or even 4 weeks' time and you see me, just come and tug on my sleeve because I promise I'll be your new bestie.
Love it. Thank you so much, Katie. Go and give Katie a follow as soon as you can, and we'll see you in the room.